LeVine. I am a social worker and addiction counselor. In this video, I'm going to talk about mental illness and addiction and why it is such a vital, important topic that we must work together to deal with. I am so focused on these issues for a number of reasons. The first is, this year my only brother, Adam Wachtel, died at age 27 to a heroin overdose. He was struggling with depression, and eventually his addictions took away his life. I also met Robin Williams over 20 times, and he was such a kind, wonderful man, and someone that has such a great energy and light, whose life is taken from these issues, makes this even more important and shows us that we have to get together to handle and deal with these problems. I'm going to talk about these issues from a first-hand experience so I can explain to you what to do if someone you love or you are facing mental illness and addictions. My own story begins as a young man in New York. My parents faced a very rough battle with their marriage. They started to fight. My dad and mom would use drugs, and it became a very, very challenging, rough experience for me. My earliest memories are about 3 years old, them fighting and beating each other up, and it was so hard and painful to watch this happening. Eventually my parents got a divorce, and it was a very tough, dramatic experience for them as well as for myself. My dad became so enraged during the divorce that he kidnapped me from New York and took me to South Carolina for 10 months. I did not see my mother, and it was so scary and upsetting for a young person to not have their mom in their life. During this time, my mom had a very, very severe depression. She was already thin, but she lost about 40 pounds due to the stress and the problems that she was feeling. She went to a therapist, and the therapist said, "Listen, if you ever get your son back, he needs you to be strong, healthy, motivated, and to not lose your life. Your son needs you to come back and to get healthy." She worked for many months to get stronger, to deal with the issues she was feeling and facing, and she went on to eventually finding me. My dad and her decided, even though all this had happened, they both loved me very much, and they chose to work through these issues. As I grew up, I became interested in learning how people accomplish great goals. I started to interview and collect autographs from thousands of famous people. A few names are Mother Teresa, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Steven Spielberg, Robin Williams, Tom Hanks, and over 5,000 others. I met Robin Williams over 20 times when I was a young man, and he was always telling stories and joking and laughing, and he filled the room with energy and light and love. I remember seeing him and thinking what a great success he is and how he is just so full of life. He could literally, with his brain, think of so many creative and wonderful things and make people laugh and give us light and love. And losing him this summer, as well as losing my brother, has taught me that this is not the time to retreat, to give up on helping people. We need to come together so we can help those facing depression and addictions. Sadly, the economy has caused many people to face financial pressure, and this often leads to depression. When we are feeling depressed, we can search for things to help numb the pain, and sadly many people with depression choose things like alcohol or marijuana or cocaine or ecstasy or opiates to deal with these feelings. The problems are, when you are depressed and you start using drugs and alcohol, it creates a very, very difficult challenge. This is part one of this video. I'm going to make 6 parts. I want to thank you for watching this. My name again is Blake LeVine. I'm the author of the new book, Depression, Bipolar, and Heroin. And please click part 2 so you can continue to see the videos that I'm making. Thank you.